Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to talk about some of the resources that saved my life as a tattoo apprentice and where you can find them yourself. I am a little bit sick. I'm gonna be honest. It's not the Rona. It's just a regular cold. This is like in the past few months. This is like my third or fourth time being sick, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I guess I need to take more vitamin C or something. So in this video, I want to talk about a lot of the resources that really helped me sort of understand things a little bit better or change the way that I thought about things when it came to tattooing or drawing. I want to let you know why I think some of these are important knowledge, and I want to let you know where you can find them yourselves. I'm going to be making a playlist of the stuff that I have found on YouTube. It's going to be public, so you can check that out. One video that I would recommend, one type of video that I would recommend, and he also has tutorials on his Instagram, is Broken Puppet Drawing Tutorials. He has like his own like Procreate brush sets and things like that that you can purchase and, tweak and mess around with those. I don't have Procreate though, so I didn't do that. But he does have real-time videos on YouTube where he follows you, where he walks you through drawing certain things like peonies, traditional roses, daggers, butterflies, any traditional flash you can think of. He's probably got a tutorial about it, and it's in real time, so it's easy to follow along. And he also has tutorials on his Instagram that have, like start off the basic shapes, and then he shows you how you use the different shapes to create different things. And they have been so helpful to me, especially following along drawing practice, because like even if I don't like the end result of the drawing, if I don't think it's as good as his, it still has taught me how to use those techniques in tandem with each other, which is really, really helpful. Another video that really helped me once I actually started tattooing on fake skin was this one specific video from Tattooing 101 with this one guy. And in it, he really changed the whole way that I was holding a machine and the way that I was approaching tattooing a line, because I was doing things that I didn't even realize were hindering my motion. So in it, he talks about how when you're doing a line, especially when you're first starting out, you don't want to use your hand to move it. You want to use your shoulder and your elbow to move the line so that you have more of a stable pull on it. So really helpful information. He also has another tutorial where he does like the shading on the same piece, and then I believe he's got a color one as well. Tattooing 101 has a lot of videos, but this one was definitely like the most important one. Completely changed the way that I thought about tattooing and holding my machine and everything. There's a very informative video. I haven't been able to find a video like this, but this video was really, really helpful for me when I first started working as a tattoo apprentice, because then I could understand what the tattoo artists were talking about. It's kind of like you have to learn like a new language in a way, like a new alphabet. So when you learn a new language, you have to practice the alphabet. And needle sizes are, in a very similar way, a new alphabet. And so when I first watched this video from Ben Fisher Ink Rush, he has this explanation of why tattoo needles are called different things. And then you also have to, as you get more familiar with being in a tattoo shop and using tattoo needles, you find that different brands sometimes have different words to describe the same thing or different things. So you have to learn the alphabet for that brand as well. And this was like a very, very informative video. I had never seen a video like this before. This was like very precious tattoo knowledge. Another video that really helped me understand the way that tattoo ink worked in a way was Art Something's video about his gray washes. So every artist has a gray wash system that is usually very coveted, because that determines the tonal value of the entire tattoo is the gray wash system. Art Something's gray wash video really helped me understand what a gray wash was, how it healed, and how to apply that to my own tattooing. And he has a video about just doing a regular old gray wash, and then he has a video about doing a gray wash when you add white to the ink. And that was also a very informative video that I would recommend checking out to sort of understand the different ways. He practiced on his own leg, and you're able to see the healed results for all of the things that he did. So it's very informative, very helpful. As far as drawing and lettering goes, this one video really helped me understand how to properly space my letters. Previously, I had been thinking about each letter as its own circle, and he explained in the video that he thinks of each letter as sort of a binary system, which is something that I'd never thought about before, where letters are rounded and then some letters are straight. And so if you put the lettering as a binary system, the spacing is going to be more even. So this is a very important video to learn how to start lettering. And then for drawing, I usually follow along to because it's a very calm practice. You get to see like ways that you can manipulate the different facial features to create different effects or different emotions. It's very helpful to just get into the process of just drawing along with somebody, especially me who has never drawn before I got my apprenticeship, at least not leisurely. So super, super helpful. It's very informative, even if there's no actual speaking. I also recommend watching Proco videos to get things like proportion down and lighting, tonal values, and things like that. Proco is a really good art channel that will help you grow as an artist in general, especially when it comes to drawing. There's the Books Closed podcast, and then there's the Unemployable podcast. Both of them are by tattoo artists, for tattoo artists, sort of. Unemployable is more on the lighthearted side. They are more like funny. They're, more just there for laughs and stuff. So it's a very entertaining podcast where they also talk about like their own experiences as a tattoo artist and, things that they do to help them with their methods. Books Closed is a little bit more serious, where they're interviewing scientists and artists and, trying to get to the bottom of certain things when it comes to the tattoo industry. So both are really good listens if you're just sitting there painting or something like that. One of them is Ken Goshen's Art is Cool podcast, because he's a wonderful teacher in general. And he has these free classes on, I believe, Tuesdays and Thursdays, where you can tune into a Zoom call and he will walk you through whatever the class's topic is that week. And he really helped explain to me color theory and color mixing and things like that. He's more of a classical realism painter with oil paints, but he does have some interviews on his podcast where he's interviewing tattoo artists. And he interviewed one of the guys from Ink Master, Jesse, I believe his name was, and he explained white ink in a way to me that I had never thought about before, and that's the way that I use it to explain to everybody now. So very important. Jen Goshen is phenomenal, and you will learn a lot from him just by listening to the podcast. You'll learn even more from him by following him on Instagram or by tuning into his classes. I watch a lot of tattoo content on YouTube. I watch a lot of Pony Lawson, and I watch a lot of Treacle Tats, and this gives me a really good gauge of what to do what not to do, mostly from a professional standpoint and from a client standpoint, because Lauren from Treacle Tats is not an artist, but she is sort of what I consider like the moral bar to gauge things from. She is a very kind person, so she has a really good heart and she expresses it in her videos. So her videos are like a moral compass as far as the tattoo industry goes. And then Pony Lawson has like tons of nuggets of information that he will release like during these videos where he's like doing art critiques and talking about what not to do. He'll give you really good information on what to do. And then I also watch a lot of like informative tattoo content. So my favorite creators are Grace Neutral and Sal EST, and both of them have really important, like very informational videos. Grace Neutral did a documentary series with Vice a few years ago, and all of it was really great. Like she traveled to different countries and explored tattoo culture there. It was amazing. And then Sal EST has just, she just talks about things that are going on in the tattoo world and why they're true or why they're false. So, very good. I watch Ink magazine with like a critical eye, because I know they're not always saying information on the behalf of the client. Sometimes they're, doing things on the behalf of the tattoo artist that they're featuring that week. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're watching Inked Mag's YouTube channel. Just my opinion. If you're looking for an online newspaper or a blog, there's a blog or a website called Tattoo Do that has a lot of good information from artists and scientists and things like that. Great resource for just browsing around, answering some questions that you might have about certain things. Like, as far as other places online, there's a Tattoo Flash archive on Flickr, and I'll put the link in the description box. And this archive has been really, really helpful because there are only so many books in a tattoo shop. Sometimes you're not going to find a flash that really speaks to you or that you really want to be able to create. And this online archive has been curated for a while now, and they have so many things that you can look at and draw inspiration from. It's really, really cool. You can just get lost in it, honestly. And then I check on to the Tattoo Apprentice subreddit every now and then just to check to see what other tattoo apprentices are up to, what they're going through, what they're working on, like kind of like gauging my own experience against others, just to make sure that like what I'm doing in my shop is like normal. Because being a tattoo apprentice, like, it's not something that comes with like a job description, so I check in on other apprentices every now and then. And then on Instagram, I pretty much like use my Instagram solely to learn things from it, and like I have like a small little corner of it that's memes. But I follow some artists that are very, very forthgiving with knowledge when it comes to tutorials or processes. Some of those being Cam Pole, Oliver Ray, and Wild Isley. And they all share very informative things on their tattoo pages, which I think is really cool. And then I believe some of them also, like John Nelson and Cam Pole, I believe they also offer subscriptions so that you can get little special one-on-one things with them if you're needing critiques or things like that. I follow a lot of accounts for just art in general because that's what spoke to me before I started becoming a tattoo apprentice. So I look for like online curations of things that are posting paintings or sculptures or architecture and things like that, because that's what inspires me. I've been really into vintage retro sci-fi art. They do a lot of stuff. Classical Nymph is another one of them. They do really like inspiring animations usually. I really like Montana Museum, Art of Witches, classical art details, art history nip slips, and nightmare fuel, which doesn't sound very inspiring, but sometimes they curate older pieces of artwork together into like a theme, and that theme sometimes is like death or like the king of the underworld, or stuff like that. It's like cool dark stuff like that. um I like gravitate a lot towards like the Renaissance and the Baroque art right now, so I follow artists that are doing things like that. And then I follow like physical artists like that do like painting, and then I follow other artists that also only tattoo that style. I'm getting a phone call. Nope. It's from Minnesota. But if you're looking for more modern pages to follow that have some newer artwork, then I would recommend High Fructose or A Beautiful Bizarre Magazine, because both of those, they have weekly, sometimes daily promotions of modern artists that are doing really cool things, whether it's like animation, digital art, 3D printing, or just regular painting and drawing. They have, really good curators there that are able to show you as many types of art as you want. So yeah, those are all of the resources that changed the game for me as far as being a tattoo apprentice and my tattoo journey. I hope that some of this has been helpful to you, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.